Welcome everyone. Thanks a lot for staying with us. You're watching Plain Speak with me, Shivani Gupta. Preparations are in full swing for the mega Ram Mandir Pran Pratishta ceremony in Ayodhya on January 22. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be the chief guest of the event, which will also mark the inauguration of the Ram Temple in Ayodhya. Artists who have played Lord Ram, Sita and Lakshman in the popular TV serial Ramayana have already reached the holy city. The Ram Lalla Idol, created by Mysore's renowned sculptor Arun Yogiraj, will be installed in the temple. The current idol of Lord Ram, known as the Chal Murti or the Utsav Murti, which has been worshipped for the last 70 years, will also be kept in the sanctum sanctorum of the new temple. The ceremony, scheduled for January 22, will be held in Abhijit Muhurat in the afternoon. Hotel prices in Ayodhya have skyrocketed to 1 lakh rupees per night. Elaborate security arrangements are in place. Uttar Pradesh police is using high-end technology to guard the temple town. Artificial intelligence is being used for monitoring and recognition. AI tech to be used to locate landmines, and AI-powered CCTVs are being installed to monitor the ceremony. The temple will be opened to the public a day after this ceremony. Temple authorities are expecting a footfall of over 1 lakh devotees a day. Today on Plain Speak, we break down each and every feature of the new Bhavya Ram Mandir that devotees will get their first glimpse of on January 22. So let's begin. First up, all details about the Garbhagriha, the sanctum sanctorum. This is of course where the ceremony will take place on the day. Now the sanctum sanctorum is 20 feet in length, 20 feet wide and 161 feet in height. It is octagonal in shape with marble on the walls, and there is a golden door at the main entrance as well. These doors have just recently been installed. Now the walls of the sanctum sanctorum have carvings that are recreating Lord Ram living in one or forest as he did for many years. Samudra Manthan from Vishnu Puran is also displayed on the outer walls of the Garbhagriha. 9 planets are seen carved on the outer walls as well. Actually, when you visit the temple, you will also see Jai and Vijay Dwarpals, the gatekeepers of Lord Vishnu, that are going to be on the gates of the sanctum sanctorum as well. There will be a 4 feet Hanuman and a 4 feet Ganesh Murti at the entrance of the sanctum sanctorum as well. The new Ram Lala Idol, which is 51 inches in height, will be placed in this Garbhagriha, and on Ram Navami, sunlight will fall on Ram Lala's forehead at noon precisely. This will be a special occasion that will be marked each year on Ram Navami.
ये जो पूरा जो एक तरह से म्यूरल ही है, ये जो मार्बल में पूरा वो किया गया है, स्कल्प्ट किया गया है, तो इसके पीछे भी कोई स्टोरी होगी क्या? क्या डिपिक्ट करना था गर्भगृह की दीवारों पे? देखिए, इसमें अभी बहुत सारा काम है जी। इसके ऊपर आप अभी देख नहीं सकेंगी, वो विष्णु जी का है और वो एक तरीके से समुद्र मंथन की कहानी है, जिसमें हर एक फिर 9 ग्रहों को दिखाया जा रहा है। फिर यहाँ पर 2 द्वारपाल होंगे जिनका नाम जय और विजय होता है। वो यहाँ पर लगेंगे। और फिर साइड में हनुमान जी और गणेश जी की मूर्ति होगी।
मैं देख रही हूँ ऊपर गणेश जी की मूर्ति ऑलरेडी लगाई गई है, जो बिल्कुल चौखट है गर्भगृह की, उसमें गणेश जी की मूर्ति लगाई है, क्योंकि गणेश जी की मूर्ति होना बहुत जरूरी है।
लेकिन साइड में लगभग 4 फीट के हनुमान जी लगेंगे और उसी प्रकार के गणेश जी लगेंगे। 1 सेकंड आपका और लूँगा।
हाँ जी।
ये जो स्थान है भगवान का, जिसको हम सभी विश्वास करते हैं कि यहाँ पर भगवान राम
जन्मे,
प्रकट हुए। तो इस स्थान को 2 मूर्तियों के साथ रखा जाएगा, इसीलिए ये आप देखेंगे लेवल्स हैं।
जी जी जी।
नीचे वाले लेवल पे वहाँ जो वर्तमान में मंदिर
राम
है,
लल्ला की जो मूर्ति है,
वो यहाँ पर आएगा
जी।
और उसके ऊपर
जो नई मूर्ति
है वो है, और वह मूर्ति 51 इंच की बनेगी जी। तो इस प्रकार से एक कैलकुलेटेड हाइट में लगभग 71 इंच की हाइट पे हो, जिससे कि वह
इधर से दिखाई भी दे सके। और दूसरा एक महत्वपूर्ण चीज़ ये है कि राम नवमी के दिन भगवान के माथे पर सूर्य किरण पड़नी चाहिए
ऊपर से।
हाँ, तो वो सूर्य किरण कैसे आए, यह कार्य CBRI और एस्ट्रोनॉमिकल इंस्टीट्यूट पुणे ने किया।
तो वो सूर्य किरण ऊपर से आएगी या सामने से?
नहीं,
ऊपर से आएगी।
ऊपर शिखर से एपर्चर होगा, आएगी और आने के बाद वो रिफ्लेक्ट होगी
और उनके माथे पे रिफ्लेक्ट की जाएगी
और फिर वो आएगी।
चलिए, रामनवमी पे फिर ये भी जब देखेंगे लोग, हर रामनवमी में ये भी देखा करेंगे।
एक तरीके से वो बड़ा ही महत्वपूर्ण क्षण होगा।
जी जी।
और हम लोगों को बड़ा ध्यान रखना है क्योंकि बहुत संख्या में लोग चाहेंगे कि उसी समय रहें।
हाँ, रामनवमी के दिन वो देखने आएंगे कि जिस समय
हटे नहीं।
तो किस समय होगी ये सूर्य किरण?
वो रामनवमी के दिन 12 बजे दिन
12 बजे दोपहर में उनके माथे पे सूर्य किरण पड़ेगी।
This is an octagonal shape has been taken because of the two things, because the octagonal shape is connected with the Vishnu and Rama, the Vishnu's avatar.
Right.
So shape has been taken and even Shikara has been developed in the same shape. So look like it's completely different than normal other temples. So we have thought of that Rama lives a lot of time in one, you can say, nature. So why don't the Ram Lalla, it has to be taken in that particular form, like the nature. So that whole the bale, the patti, fool, and everything is there surrounding him, and he's sitting in the center.
So that was all about the sanctum sanctorum. Of course, that is ready, and once that is ready, the Pran Pratishta can take place. This is something that has been established by now. But what about the rest of the complex or the temple? Let me also get you a little bit of a detail of the main entrance. There is a main entrance from the east side that will lead the devotees on that day and on most days up to the temple, and there are going to be 32 stairs that lead to the main entrance from the east side. What's going to be welcoming you here? There is going to be the Gaj, the Singh, which is the elephant, and the lion murtis on one side along with Lord Hanuman, which are placed on the right side of the entrance. On the left side are also the Gaj and Singh, which is the elephant and the lion, but on this side is Garudji, whose murti has been installed. All of these will be welcoming the guests as they enter the new Bhavya temple.
Here you will find it of interest that the platforms that you see, these are the welcome platforms.
Okay.
And there will be 3 figures here. The first will be Singh, which is lion. So that Singha Dwar, so on one platform on both the sides.
Right. So there are these 3 levels of these platforms.
Yeah.
So there will be the Singh, the lion on one.
Then there will be elephant.
Elephant.
So it is Gaj Dwar. So Singh Dwar, then Gaj Dwar, and then Hanumanji.
Okay. Okay.
The other side also the Singh Dwar, the Gaj Dwar, and then Garunji. So they will be welcoming in a way, are blessing the devotees.
Right.
So that is all about the main entrance, which has a special feature itself. But let me break down some details about the entire temple complex, because it is not just the temple, but there's a large complex spanning 71 acres, and the entire complex cost is actually 2,000 crore rupees as we speak. The temple out of this is costing about 700 crore rupees. There is a Parota or Parikrama corridor that is going around the temple, which costs 900 crore rupees. Now, why is the entire complex so expensive? Because as I said, it's not just the temple or a Parota, there's also many other facilities that are being built. So an auditorium is being built, a museum, a trust office, also a guest house are all going to be part of the complex. In fact, a pilgrimage facilitation center with a capacity of as high as 25,000 people is being built, where all the pilgrimage goers, all the devotees can rest. There will be certain facilities available for them so that they can do their darshan properly. In fact, the temple, the main Ram temple is not the only temple. There are 7 other shrines linked to Lord Ram that are part of this temple complex. They are linked to Maharshi Valmiki, Maharshi Vashisht, Nishad Raj, Maharshi Vishwamitra, there's Maharshi Agastya, Mata Shabri and Devi Ahilya. All of them associated with Lord Ram's life in one way or the other. And these 7 shrines have also been constructed inside the temple. These are symbols of social harmony, and the temple itself is not the only one. There are mandirs that are dedicated on all corners of the complex to Surya Dev, Devi Bhagwati, Ganesh Bhagwan and Bhagwan Shiv. Ma Annapurna's temple is also on the northern side. This is where the ancient Sita Rasoi was discovered. And this is where the bhog for the gods is going to be prepared even in present day. So that's on the northern side, but on the southern side is a mandir for Hanumanji. So there are many smaller shrines, smaller mandirs and obeisance being paid to several other figures associated with Lord Ram. Interestingly, the ancient and historic well known as the Sita Coop is also close to the temple, and that is also part of this complex has been restored. And a Kuber Tila, which is the ancient mandir for Lord Shiva, has been restored as part of this complex along with the installation of Jatayu. So this complex is going to be huge. It is not just the temple, and of course the temple will be constructed in phases. The ground floor is ready now, other 2 floors are getting ready, and the entire complex will take even longer to get ready.
यहाँ से 500 मीटर चलेंगे अंदर ही तो एक कुबेर टीला मिलेगा। कुबेर टीला बहुत ऊंचाई पर है, वहाँ पर शिव का मंदिर है। बाकी जब कुबेर टीला देखा गया तो हर प्रकार के पौधे थे, पेड़ थे, एक तरीके से जंगल ना भी कहूँ तब भी एक घना एक तरीके से बोटैनिकल वो ग्रोथ थी वहाँ पर। शिव मंदिर के पास ही वहाँ जटायु इंस्टॉल किए जा रहे हैं और जटायु श्री जो हैं वहाँ से मंदिर की तरफ देखेंगे।
अच्छा।
हाँ, सो और वो ब्रॉन्ज के बनाए जा रहे हैं। फिर यहाँ पर निर्माण जो बाहर है उसमें 7 मंदिर बन रहे हैं
जी,
जो एक तरीके से सोशल हार्मनी का प्रतीक है
जी।
जो मर्यादा पुरुषोत्तम ने अपने वनवास में संदेश दिया था कि वह उनके लिए उनका है। तो उस संदेश को और इस भारतीय संस्कृति को एक तरीके से एडॉप्ट करने के लिए उन मंदिरों की यहाँ पर व्यवस्था होगी।
तो क्या-क्या मंदिर बनेंगे?
जिसमें महर्षि वाल्मीकि हैं, वशिष्ठ जी हैं, निषाद जी हैं, सबरी माँ हैं, अहिल्या जी हैं। तो इस प्रकार से 7 मंदिर का व्यवस्था की जाए।
Okay, so all of this complex, you're saying 3,200 crore rupees have been received. And
3,250 crore.
Yeah, and you will get much more now that foreign donations are allowed. But what would be the total cost? Because this is not just the temple, mind you, for the benefit of our viewers. There is of course a parikrama Parota going all around, and it's even costlier than the temple so far, right?
बिल्कुल,
इसका
बिल्कुल।
कितना अभी कॉस्ट आया?
अगर अंदाजन इसका 700 करोड़ है,
हाँ।
तो परकोटा जो 795 फीट में होगा,
हाँ।
वह लगभग 900 करोड़ का है।
बट ये कॉम्प्लेक्स एक्चुअली बहुत बड़ा होने वाला है। ये 71 एकड़ में एक कॉम्प्लेक्स है। तो अगर लोगों ने काशी विश्वनाथ धाम में जो रिकंस्ट्रक्शन हुआ है, जो कॉरिडोर देखा है, आप इमेजिन कर सकते हैं कि ये उससे बहुत गुना बड़ा होगा। तो इसकी कॉस्ट में फिर बहुत
जी, ये इसमें एक तो देखिए भूमि की सीमा नहीं थी। काशी विश्वनाथ में भूमि की सीमा थी, और कुल मिलाकर के अभी जो अनुमान लगाया जा रहा है, सब निर्माण कार्य लगभग 2000 करोड़ में पूरा होने की संभावना है। लेकिन ये बहुत कुछ निर्भर करेगा क्या क्या जुड़ता है। ऑडिटोरियम की बात हो रही है, म्यूजियम की बात हो रही है, ट्रस्ट ऑफिस होगा, गेस्ट हाउस होगा, और एक बहुत बड़ा स्ट्रक्चर जो आपने देखा नहीं देखा तो आप कृपा करके वहाँ 1 मिनट रुक करके देख लें। वो है पिलग्रिमेज फैसिलिटेशन सेंटर। जहाँ पर कि लोगों को होल्डिंग करीब 5,000 लोगों की स्पेस होगी, जहाँ पे लोग अपना सामान जमा
रख
कर
सके,
सकेंगे
बैठ सके।
और उसके बाद दर्शन के लिए आएंगे। और कुछ वहाँ पर अन्य सुविधाएं भी होंगी श्रद्धालुओं के लिए। तो वह भी एक बहुत बड़ा कंस्ट्रक्शन चल रहा है और वो 22 जनवरी तक पूरा हो जाएगा।
And that pagoda, you'll find 6 temples, and which is related to the Vishnu, the Panchayatan, Vishnu Panchayatan, you call it. 5 temples of that, and the 6th one is of Annapurnama. Because on the northern side, when we started this designing and all that stuff, on the northern side of the temple, there was a Sita Rasoi. Very old building was there, so it's called a Sita Rasoi. So we just also placed the temple, particularly for gods, which has been the Bhog. So that has been prepared there, and where even Annapurna Ma's temple is going to be there.
So lots being made as part of this temple complex and lots still to look forward to. Of course, the ground floor of the temple has been readied for the Jan 22 inauguration. The rest of the temple will take about the end of 2024 to complete, and then another year for most of the other facilities or the museum and others to become up in the entire complex. But that complex is actually going to be ever expanding. A lot of things are still being added to it. Talking of the temple itself, let's also break down exactly what it has inside. We've told you about the Garbhagriha and the entrance, but what about the mandaps? Now, the original plan of this temple was much smaller in design. It had 3 mandaps at that time. They were expanded to 5 after the judgment and when the design was expanded upon. So let me tell you a little bit more about the mandaps themselves. As I said, there are 5 mandaps, and there are 5 mandaps which are based on the Nagar style, the Nagar Shaili architecture. All of it has been designed as per the Shilp Shastra specifications by the Sompura family, who are the architects of this temple. So there are 5 mandaps. The first 2 are Nritya and Rang mandap. These are the first 2 mandaps that you will cross when you enter. The last mandap is the Kudu mandap, that is just before the Garbhagriha. We'll get you some visuals in just a bit. And then there are 2 other mandaps that have been added on the side, not in the straight line but parallel or perpendicular to that, which are the Pratna mandap. This is going to be the space for prayers. Along with people doing darshan, there will be separate space where people can sit and do their prayers. And there's a Kirtan mandap, which again will be a dedicated space of sorts when there are ceremonies going on or when there are long kirtans or bhajans and such occasions being marked in the temple. So overall, there will be no dearth of space as far as the new Ram temple is concerned.
Basically, there was like in the older design, what Dad has been created in 90s, that was only Garbhagriha, Guda Mandapa and Ranga Mandapa. So that was the only thing. And the Sindhwar, the Chowki was there at the time. We thought the footfall will be much more than any other thing. So it was been like taken like the footfall, the ground floor area should be increased. At the time, the first design also have 2 stories. Ground floor is going to be a Ram Lalla, and on the first floor is going to be a Ram Darbar, the whole Darbar. 2 mandaps on the sides and 1 more mandap on the front itself. So again, after the Rang mandap, there's going to be a Nritya mandap. The sides we have again increased the floor area like Kirtan mandap and Prasna mandap.
इस प्रकार से 5 मंडपों के उसमें आप वॉक करते हुए चलेंगे। ये पहला मंडप है।
ये जहाँ हम अब पहुँच रहे हैं, ये राम जन्मभूमि मंदिर का पहला मंडप है। ऑलमोस्ट तैयार हो चुका है
जी।
यहाँ पे जो पिलर्स की जो नक्काशी वगैरह है वो सब हो चुकी है, और ये भी जो इसकी गुम्बद भी है वो भी तैयार हो चुकी है। तो इसका भी कुछ
ये रंग मंडप है।
ये रंग मंडप है, सबसे पहला मंडप।
जी हाँ।
तो इसका कुछ सिग्निफिकेंस होता है? जी,
इसका एक तरीके से उल्लास। ऑल दीज नेम्स हैव कम फ्रॉम द स्पेशल, हमारे आर्किटेक्ट थे, उन्होंने मंदिरों के निर्माण की एक शैली थी, नागर शैली, उन्होंने उससे एडॉप्ट करके इसका नाम दिया। जी, यू सी द पिलर्स,
यस,
These
एंड
are
some of the sculptures that are there, बहुत सारी मूर्तियाँ इसमें पिलर्स में बनाई गई हैं.
ये इसका एक हिस्सा है
जी.
अपर मोस्ट. ये आप इस तरीके से समझें कि ये इनको हम नृत्यांगना नहीं कहते हैं.
जी.
दे आर नॉट जस्ट डांसर्स बट दे आर पावर, शक्ति. तो उसका है, ये वो हैं जो भगवान के अराइवल पर खुशियाँ मना रही हैं.
जी जी. तो इसीलिए ये रंग मंडप है.
हाँ, ये ऐसा ही, लेकिन ये जो पैटर्न है ये पूरे पिलर्स पे अडॉप्टेड है.
So at that time, if someone wants to do just prarthana in the temple, so there's a special mandap for them. Just
For
go
that,
there
yes.
and do the prarthana, and other people who are for going for the darshan, they doesn't disturb. You know, sometimes you go to a temple and people are sitting on the floor and just doing prarthana, which disturbs your movement.
The roof will be on the second floor,
Second.
top floor. That's where the dome will be there.
So that will be a full high ceiling area of the temple.
And from there, the next is the support, the shikhar comes. Now you are actually last but one. After this, you will go to the sanctum, sanctorum.
Right. So what is this? This is also the third mandap.
Yeah, this is Guru Mandap.
This is
you
Guru
have
Mandap.
really entered Guru Mandap.
Okay. And this looks really majestic.
Yeah, and this will go up to another 2 stories,
Right.
first and second floor. To ensure that the safety of the devotees,
You've covered it.
covered it, so that the work will go on
Right.
while the devotees will make
Cross
a queue and go.
Clearly a lot of attention is
Yes.
being paid to the inlay work and the marble work that is on the floor of the temple as well.
This is the exactly, you will have the feel how the entire flooring will come, in which there will be this kind of a art design in the center. There will be border on the sides.
There are 3 layers in the column. On the top layer, it is going to be Apsaras Devanganas, which is being predicted on the top layer, which shows with the every mandap, the concept is different. If it is a Kirtan mandap, so then the Devanganas were doing, you know, the playing music instruments, all that stuff. Even in a Prarthana mandap, they are just praying moments and all that stuff. In the Nritya mandap, they are doing dancing and all that. Those figures been depicted in a Ranga mandap. Ranga, which has been played in a normal life. So that normal day routine doing Devanganas were there. And on the good mandap, which is also there. So those kind of Devanganas, which has been, you know, inviting the people, which is doing the Pran. All that kind of Devanganas and Apsaras were predicted on the topper level. And the middle level, which are the larger one. So on that particularly, we concepted, it's like basically giving the whole Sanatan Dharma's God. All gods should be predicted. So Shiva is there, the Ganesha is there. The many form you will see of Ganesha, many form of Hanumanji. In the main Gada Mandap, which is just near, where you can see the columns have 10 Dashavatars on the column. So that kind of a thing, if people will go there, our concept is basically people will go there, they'll understood the whole Sanatan Dharma, which is what gods and goddesses are. Basically. So those kind of a thing. And on the bottom layer, we have goddesses. So all the goddesses you'll see on the bottom layer of that column.
Yes.
Well, you can certainly look forward to great amount of intricacies and skill that has gone into the making of the mandaps, as the architect and the chairman of the construction panel have explained. There are 5 different mandaps with 5 different moods, but a lot of iconography on the walls that has been very painstakingly carved out. Now, you must have heard both me and others mention the Parota. So what is this Parota, or the circular wall that is going to be going around the Ram temple? Let me tell you a little bit more about this. First of all, this is actually turning out to be costlier than the construction of the temple. This facilitates the pradakshina or the parikrama that devotees used to do of the Ram temple, and they will be doing yet again of the new Ram temple. It is 14 feet wide and 732 meters long. It's going to go all across the temple. and specially carved out bronze murals have been placed on the walls or will be placed on the walls, because this is still under construction, depicting the ethical values of Lord Ram. They're going to be all over one side of the wall of the Parkota, which is the closed side, and the other side you can look into the temple as well. There will be stories of sages that will be highlighted on the walls, and as many as 100 such 3D depictions from Valmiki Ramayana and other stories of Lord Ram's life will be depicted on the walls of the Parkota.
The devotees would come from this Parkota.
Right.
Parkota, for better understanding, is a place which is given to the devotee for parikrama.
Right.
So this construction will go around the temple
Like a corridor.
and it is about 795 meters going to be. This is not a simple corridor. There is a thought process to it. There is outer wall, and the inner side it is open towards the temple. So anybody doing parikrama, of course,
Can
will be
see
seeing the temple.
Yes.
The outer wall provides, in a way, the safety, the security for the temple, because no one then can enter. Now on the wall which is being created, each wall is in the form of a panel. The panel will have a bronze mural. That mural is roughly about 6 feet by 4 feet. And what is going to be the story there? I am covering it right in the beginning so that one can understand the significance of Parkota. It will display the ethical values of Ram and how that became relevant to those who pursued it, those who adopted it, those who became the part and parcel of the thought process of Maryada Purushottam. Yeah.
Okay.
So the murals will be all over and they are 100 in number. That work is being done separately. Now, I mean, you know, to the lay person, of course, it may just look a bronze mural, but what goes into it is, you have first the picture, then you give to the artist, then he has his own vision, his own view of how this picture should be now made in an art form. Once it is made in the art form, it gets approved by some topmost artists which we have engaged. Then it goes to the process of clay work, then fiber, then finally bronze. And then it comes here and gets installed.
Absolutely.
So on the wall, it is again, it's a blank wall doesn't mean anything. So again, the committee, the experts have come up with the idea, like, why don't you just predict a Sanatan Dharma, complete Sanatan Dharma on that particular walls with brass murals. So people will also know while, doing the parikrama also, they will feel that the Sanatan, what is Sanatan? So all that stuff is going to be placed on
the message of Sanatan
message
Dharma.
of Sanatan Dharma will be predicted on the brass murals on the walls.
So we've told you about the Garbhagriha, the mandaps, the entrance, and also the Parkota. Finally, we want to tell you a little bit more about that one thing that no one has seen so far, which is the new Ram Lala Idol. Let's break down some of the details that we know. So this new Ram Lala Idol is in Shyam Varn. Basically, it's going to be dark complexioned. This is going to be a 5-year-old depiction of Lord Ram as a kid and has been seated on a lotus. Now, the new Ram Lala Idol is 51 inches tall. It weighs about 1.5 tons. This new idol is made by Mysuru sculptor Arun Yogiraj, and it looks like it will be unveiled only by January 22. This idol is unique because it has been made according to the description of Lord Ram or Ram Lalla in Valmiki Ramayana. So the hands are as long as till the knees. The face is going to be very innocent. All of those factors have gone into the making of the new Ram Lala idol. The Chal Murti or the Utsav Murti that is being worshipped for the last 70 years since 1949 will also be placed near this new idol in the sanctum sanctorum.
At the moment, there is a temporary place where the god is located. So he really comes here. From there, the Chal Murti, Utsav Murti, which is there at the moment, that Murti will come on that day, on 22nd. And then the Achal, which is being carved,
the new Murti.
new Murti, that will be installed here. So after 22nd, the devotees naturally must have darshan. So 23rd
You don't want
is the
them
day.
to wait till the entire construction
No, 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 no. At the moment they are going there, they will definitely see.
Want to come.
Yeah, want to like to come when it is being the Pran Pratishta or consecration has taken place.
दो चीजें कि एक तो 3 मूर्तियां बनेंगी फिर उसमें से एक का सिलेक्शन होगा और दूसरा कि वहां से तो मूर्ति आ ही रही है जो विराजमान है लेकिन नई राम लल्ला भी विराजमान होंगे.
अच्छा, आप ये सभी को आपके माध्यम से जानकारी मिल जाएगी. 3 मूर्तियां तो इसलिए थी क्योंकि जो आर्ट वर्क बना कि भगवान कैसे दिखेंगे, जो उनको विवरण दिया गया कि किस प्रकार किस उम्र की उनकी मूर्ति होनी चाहिए, किस प्रकार की किस ऊंचाई की लंबाई की होनी चाहिए, समचरण होना चाहिए मतलब एक ही लेवल पे हो, फिर अजान बाहु होना चाहिए मतलब उनके हाथ जो हैं वो लंबे हैं टिल गोइंग टू द नी. So all those descriptions which are there in the Ramayana of Maharshi Valmiki and later Tulsidas ji, all that was picked up to describe. But then we could not have depended on one sculptor.
Right.
Coincidentally, much more socially moderate. Abortion is not a thing that Republicans in New Hampshire like to talk about. And so they would like to leave well enough alone. What you'll hear a lot of over the next several days are fiscal issues, taxes, deficits. You'll hear about the border. Immigration will be a key issue that is discussed over and over again. All the candidates on the one hand are on the same side. They all want to close the border, but they will all disagree among themselves as to who's the best candidate to do that. So immigration, taxes, deficits, those will be the key issues going forward. New Hampshire voters have been screening candidates for the past year, and they like to date, they like to see who's out there and so forth, but now is the time when it's commitment time. Now is the time when we're going to marry somebody. And so the screening gets tighter, and the question is, who makes it here? You know, if you're Donald Trump, I think you you have a theory of how to win. And you have tactics that go along with that theory. What you're going to do is every day, these big rallies, every day you're going to be on the local news. And that's on the one hand. On the other hand, you're going to try to keep a lid on Nikki Haley. The day after the Iowa caucuses, there's this sense of inevitability around Donald Trump. And what Nikki Haley has to do over the next 7 days is puncture that feeling of inevitability, not just among Trump voters, but among her own voters.
On the president, but I have to say that he is the worst president that we've had in the history of our country.
I mean, first, it's the whole reason I think it's time we have an accountant in the White House, truly. But I think we have to look at the economy was good under Trump, but at what cost?
She's going to double down on absolutely everything because New Hampshire is her last chance to make a good first impression on the rest of the country. The problem for Ron DeSantis right now is that he really hasn't had a message that he's been transmitting to New Hampshire voters now for a good couple of months. He's been out of sight, out of mind for the most part because of his Iowa-focused strategy. So there'll be a lot less emphasis on social issues, issues like abortion, for example, right? Iowa, lots of evangelicals, lots of religious conservatives. New Hampshire, much less religious, not coincidentally, much more socially moderate. Abortion is not a thing that Republicans in New Hampshire like to talk about. And so they would like to leave well enough alone. What you'll hear a lot of over the next several days are fiscal issues, taxes, deficits. You'll hear about the border. Immigration will be a key issue that is discussed over and over again. All the candidates on the one hand are on the same side. They all want to close the border, but they will all disagree among themselves as to who's the best candidate to do that. So immigration, taxes, deficits, those will be the key issues going forward. New Hampshire voters have been screening candidates for the past year, and they like to date, they like to see who's out there and so forth, but now is the time when it's commitment time. Now is the time when we're going to marry somebody. And so the screening gets tighter, and the question is, who makes it here? You know, if you're Donald Trump, I think you have a theory of how to win, and you have tactics that go along with that.
As the entire country gears up for Jan 22 Pran Pratishta, I am joined with a very special guest, American singer and India lover Mary Millben, who's famous for singing for US presidents, and also the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi is joining me live and exclusively. Mary, thanks a lot for making time. It's good to have you on CNN News 18 again. Now, this is a massive occasion for the entire country, and I'm seeing a lot of Indian Americans are also celebrating in the US. You're no stranger to the festival of Diwali, and Jan 22 is being considered a second Diwali for Indians. Your thoughts on this big moment and occasion?
Well, Shivani, it's great to see you, my sister, and certainly hello to all the CNN News 18 family. I tell you, I'm so sad that I will not be present in India for this incredible and very meaningful inauguration ceremony for this beautiful, beautiful edifice. I tell you, what a wonderful time! What a opportune time, certainly, to have this moment during this time in India. Certainly during an important season for the Prime Minister and the country at large. And yes, we all in the United States, so many that are traveling to India now to attend the ceremony. And I tell you, it's a very exciting time for the country, certainly for people of faith, and certainly for my beloved Hindu community. And so I agree, it's a second Diwali for sure, because it is certainly a celebration of the importance of faith and how central faith is in all of our lives. I'm a Christian woman, and certainly I've had the great pleasure here in the United States and across the world to become very close to the Hindu community and to see how important faith is in all of our lives. It hopefully should be the central piece in all of our lives, and I think it's the great connector across the world. So while yes, an American and certainly a lover of India and the Indian people, I can relate to this moment with my Indian family as a woman of faith.
Yes, I mean, this is a history for Hindu people in India. It's a struggle of 500 years to reclaim one of the holiest sites in their religion. So it's certainly a big moment, and it's being celebrated with not just Hindus, but all parts of our communities are coming together for that big moment. You talked about, being a woman of faith yourself. And sometimes, faith comes in contradictions with what people feel are secular values today. For modern democracies like both the US and India. How do you see that? What would your message be to those who are people of faith but also believe in strong democracies that believe that everybody is equal? Because sometimes it becomes a matter of conflict, as you may know in the US as well.
Certainly. Well, anytime you have a democracy that is filled with diversity of people and cultures and religions, you're always going to have sometimes some contention. But I think the most successful democracies, I can certainly speak to the two largest and closest, and that's certainly in the context of the United States and India, are great leaders in setting an example of how a democracy can thrive with a diversity of faith. I was very touched to see how the Prime Minister welcomed Christian leaders to his home during the Christmas holiday, which was an olive branch certainly to demonstrate the importance of all of us coming together, of different faiths and different cultures, to understand each other. The world, I can say this in the United States because we're in an election year. You all are certainly in an election year as well.
Yes.
And in election years, all of our differences are magnified. But I think the beauty about being a person of faith, being in communities of faith, is that faith allows us to come to the table and learn from each other, understand from each other. And I think we need more of that in the world today. So I hope that this beautiful ceremony here in a few days becomes just that, an example in India that unifies people, that certainly celebrates faith, that celebrates certainly a meaningful event that's been a long time coming, but re-emphasizes the importance of unity in faith.
Absolutely. And you talked about this event being a unifier. We hope certainly that will be the effect. And Lord Ram, that this temple is dedicated to on his birthplace, is himself known as a symbol of unity and the great Indian unifier. I'm going to request you, Mary, since I have you, you're famous for singing the Indian Aarti, Om Jai Jagdish. That is sung in every Indian household on Diwali. This being a second Diwali that the country is celebrating, I would like to yield the stage to you so that you can give us your rendition of the beautiful Om Jai Jagdish, my personal favorite Aarti, that you sang so beautifully in Indian clothes and in Hindi. So if you could sing a few lines for us.
Well, there's only a few people that I'll get up at 5:30, almost 6 a.m. in the morning and sing for, and that is you, Shivani, and
Thank
CNN
you.
News 18. So a little bit, and I tell you, this beautiful hymn has become such a meaningful song to me. I know, as you alluded to, certainly a meaningful song to so many there in India and across the world. So a little bit for you. Om Jaya Jagadish Hare, Swami Jaya Jagadish Hare, Bhakta Jano ke Sankata, Dase Jano ke Sankata, Shana me dura kare. Om Jaya Jagadish Hare, Om Jaya Jagadish Hare. God bless you, sweetheart, and God bless all of you. I wish the very best for this beautiful ceremony, and certainly we'll be watching here from the United States.
Thank you so much for that and for your support, Mary Millben. Thanks a lot for speaking to CNN News 18 yet again. We wish you all the best, and I hope to see you in India very soon. You've been teasing us for a while.
Very soon, I'm coming. I am coming soon. I'm not supposed to say it yet, but certainly look forward to being in India this year and very, very soon.
Absolutely. We look forward to that. Thank you.
Blessings, dear.
We are at the Janki Mahal Trust. This is just near the Ram Janam Bhoomi. I am joined by Mr. Ashok Kumar Verma, who from the trust here, and he's showing us something really special. He's showing us this room number 108, where Narendra Modi stayed when he came here last in 1992. Now we all know that Mr. Narendra Modi started the Ekta Yatra. He was part of the Ekta Yatra from Kanyakumari to Kashmir in 1991, and in 1992. On 14 January 1992, Mr. Narendra Modi was in Ayodhya, and he stayed in this particular room, room number 108 of the Janki Mahal Trust. This is the humble beginnings. And Mr. Verma will just tell us. So Verma ji, जब मोदी जी आए थे 31 साल पहले, तो क्या याद है आपको?
नहीं याद है, मोदी जी आए थे, ये लाल कृष्ण आडवाणी जी अपना रथ यात्रा निकाले थे, उसी के दौरान में आए थे। यहाँ जितने VIP अपने नेता हैं, राजमाता सिंधिया हैं, लाल कृष्ण आडवाणी जी हैं, राजनाथ सिंह हैं, ये सारे लोगों का पदार्पण यहाँ हुआ।
जी जी। तो उस टाइम जब रहे 1992 में काफी टेंशन का भी माहौल था जब मोदी जी आखिर
अपने अंदर नहीं था, लेकिन बाहर
जी
थोड़ा बहुत तो था ही, लेकिन अपने अंदर जानकी महल ट्रस्ट में तो एकदम घर की तरह घरेलू वातावरण है। यहाँ रहा शुरू से, आज भी वही है। बहुत आराम से रहते थे, यहाँ कोई अच्छा दबाव नहीं था।
This is the story, and Mr. Narendra Modi, as we all know, is right now doing an 11-day long Anushthan, as part of which he is going to various other temples in the country which are associated with Lord Ram. He went to Panchvati, he went to Andhra Pradesh yesterday, he's in a famous Ram temple in Kerala today. And this is what Mr. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is now doing, sleeping on the floor, eating only once a day, doing a proper 11-day Anushthan before he comes on January 22nd for the Pran Pratishta ceremony. Zaman Sharma with Bimbadhar from Janki Temple Trust in Ayodhya.
भगवान राम की मूर्ति को ब्रह्म मुहूर्त में पूजा अर्चना किया गया है। उसके बाद जो है भगवान राम की मूर्ति को ट्रक में लोड किया गया है, रखा गया है, और उसके अब ट्रक के जरिए भगवान राम की मूर्ति को सीधे लेकर जाया जाएगा विवेक सृष्टि से भव्य दिव्य नए अलौकिक राम मंदिर में। और मैं आपको उन ट्रक की तस्वीरें दिखा रहा हूं जिसमें भगवान राम की नई मूर्ति को रखा गया है। आप देख पा रहे हैं तस्वीरों में उत्तर प्रदेश पुलिस के जवान और साथ ही साथ वो ट्रक भी वहां पर मौजूद है। अब यहाँ पर तस्वीरों में आप देख पा रहे हैं, और उसी ट्रक में भगवान राम की नई मूर्ति को रखा गया है। हम आपको इस वक्त विवेक सृष्टि की तस्वीरें दिखा रहे हैं, और विवेक सृष्टि में ही ये ट्रक रखा गया है। यहाँ सुरक्षा के पुख्ता इंतजाम किए गए हैं। ब्रह्म मुहूर्त में भगवान राम की मूर्ति का पूजन अर्चन हो चुका है। मुख्य जजमान डॉक्टर अनिल जो है कुछ देर पहले यहाँ से निकले हैं, और अब बताया जा रहा है कि किसी भी वक्त इस मूर्ति को यहाँ से इसी ट्रक के जरिए लेकर निकला जाएगा, यहाँ से लेकर जाया जाएगा।
Well, we are outside Hanumangari Temple, famous Hanumangari Temple in Ayodhya, and I would like to show something very interesting to our viewers, that how the transformation in all verticals have taken place in Ayodhya City. So behind me is this very stylish pink color e-rickshaw, and perhaps this service has been started in Ayodhya on 14th of January. So the traditional e-rickshaws are also there on the roads, but now these brand new stylish e-rickshaws are ready to take over the roads of Ayodhya. Compact, comfortable, and in fact there is a good leg room also here, so 3 people can comfortably sit behind and you know can take a ride in this beautiful Ayodhya city. Ma'am, ये आप ये own करते हैं e-rickshaw?
जी।
कब से सर्विसेज शुरू हुई है अयोध्या में?
ये सर सर्विसेज 14 जनवरी को इनका उद्घाटन हुआ है। अयोध्या में योगी जी ने हरी झंडी दिखाकर इनका मतलब उद्घाटन किया, और 14 जनवरी से ही हमने ये ई रिक्शा अयोध्या में चला रहे हैं, और राम जी की सेवा में हम लगे हुए हैं। मेरा नाम रजनी है, हम दिल्ली से आए हैं, और हम दिल्ली के ड्राइवर हैं। दिल्ली में हमारी गाड़ियाँ चलाई जा रही हैं ये, और ओनली लेडीज ही चला रही हैं, लेकिन अयोध्या में 25 जेंट्स और 25 लेडीज़ों को ये दी गई है।
25 जेंट्स और 25 लेडीज को दी गई है ये गाड़ियाँ।
और सर हमारी कंपनी का नाम ईटीओ कंपनी है, ये कोई सरकारी गाड़ी नहीं है, इसे हम रेंट पे चला रहे हैं।
With a record number of devotees, pilgrims expected in Ayodhya for the Jan 22nd Pran Pratishta ceremony, and ahead of that, obviously security is also very high, top-notch in Ayodhya. In fact, CM Minister Yogi Adityanath was recently in Ayodhya, where he gave clear direction that security has to be very tight. Everybody has to feel safe in this divine atmosphere in Ayodhya. We are here, and you know we can see these commandos from the anti-terrorism squad of UP Police stationed here since today morning. We are seeing also commando vehicles in many parts of Ayodhya. In fact, UP administration has also put 2 kind of drones here on duty. One is artificial intelligence drones, which are, you know, scanning the skies, scanning anything suspicious if they see on the ground, and they report it immediately to the control room. Another new kind of drones are these anti-mine drones. So, you know, we have seen these drones flying very near to the ground, just about 1 meter above the ground, trying to detect any explosive material, any mines which, you know, any unscrupulous elements may have, you know, put inside the roads or anything, to ensure both these kind of drones, AI sky drones as well as these anti-mine drones, have been deployed by the UP Police in Ayodhya to ensure top-notch security. And of course, the commandos with their modern weapons and modern vehicles are here to take care of any eventuality and to ensure that the pilgrims here feel safe and sound and can enjoy Ayodhya without any fear when they come for the Pran Pratishta ceremony.
अभी तक किसी ने राम लला की नई मूर्ति देखी नहीं है, पर भगवत प्रसाद पहाड़ी जी ने वो मूर्ति देखी है, उसकी नाप भी ली है। हालांकि उस मूर्ति के बारे में हमको ज्यादा बताएंगे नहीं, पर हम प्रयास करते हैं उनसे पूछ के। आपने मूर्ति देखी, उसकी नाप ली है?
हाँ, मूर्ति नाप देखी है, लेकिन टेस्ट हमको अभी अलाउ नहीं करी बताने के लिए। जब हमको बताने के अलाउ करेगी तब हम राम लला का पोशाक 5 घंटे मिलेंगे, तो 5 घंटे में तो आएगा नहीं, 24 घंटे का अवसर मिलेगा।
मूर्ति अच्छी है, भव्य है,
मूर्ति बहुत ही सुंदर है। अब जब दर्शकों के सामने आएगा तो पता लगेगा कि हाँ कोई मूर्ति है। और पहले से जो रामलला हैं विराजमान, उनका पोशाक बना है और बनकर के भेजे हैं और बराबर बना भी रहे हैं, और आज उन्हीं के कार्य में हम संतुष्ट हैं और खुश हैं। लेकिन जो दुकानें गई इससे
असंतुष्ट है। ये देखिए, ये इनका ब्रांड है, श्री बाबूलाल टेलर्स, श्री राम जन्मभूमि प्रमुख टेलर्स, इनका ब्रांड भी है जो राम जन्मभूमि प्रमुख टेलर्स है, क्योंकि पिछली 2 पीढ़ियों से ये रामलला के कपड़े बना रहे हैं, जैसा कि इन्होंने बताया। तो अभी तक आप बनाते आ रहे जो पुरानी मूर्ति है, और कितनी रिक्वायरमेंट होती है कपड़ों की साल में?
अच्छा, पहले जब गुम्बज था तो साल में 1 ही 2 कपड़ा बड़े मुश्किल से ही बनता था। गुम्बज टूटने के बाद जब हमारे रामलला टाट में आए तो केंद्र सरकार की तरफ से 7 पोशाक 7 दिन के चैत्र रामनवमी में बनते रहे। मंगलवार को लाल, बुध को हरा, बीफे को पीला, शुक्र को क्रीम, शनिवार को नीला, रविवार को गुलाबी, सोमवार को सफेद। इसी क्रम से पोशाक बनते थे।
Lord Ram's Pratishthan has started today in Ayodhya, and literally Lord Ram is here on the Saryu Ghat. I am this beautiful painting that I saw today at the Ram Ki Paudi. This is Monica, and her sister Nisha is doing another painting, and both these sisters have come all the way from Darbhanga in Bihar to make these beautiful paintings on the ghats of Saryu at Ram Ki Paudi. So Monica, you have made this painting? So what is the idea behind this painting? And this is a beautiful painting. ऐसा लग रहा है भगवान राम आ ही गए हैं अयोध्या।
जी, जैसा कि मैं दरभंगा बिहार से हूँ, मिथिला से, तो हमारे यहाँ कहते हैं ना कि कोई मेहमान आते हैं, जैसे राम जी हमारे मिथिला के दामाद हैं, तो उनके स्वागत में कई सारे उत्सव मनाए जाते हैं, जैसे घरों को सजाया जाता है, रंगोली बनाया जाता है।
कितनी देर लगी आपको बनाने में?
14 से 15 घंटे।
14 से 15 घंटे। She's taken 14 to 15 hours, and her sister Nisha is painting another painting. They will take you there. Come, Monica, come. And she is doing another beautiful painting here. This is the second painting that they are making with watercolors and acrylic colors. This is one made with acrylic colors. निशा जी, आप इतनी दूर से आई हैं दरभंगा से, तो ये पेंटिंग का क्या भाव है?
सर, रंगों की दुनिया बेहद दिलचस्प होती है, जहाँ कुछ तस्वीरें ऐसी होती है जो शब्द का सहारा लेती है, कुछ ऐसी तस्वीरें होती है जो कहीं अनकहीं बातें कह देती है। आर्टिस्ट की उंगली के जादू से रेखाएं थिरकती है, रंग नाचता है, और वो अपनी पूरी सृष्टि कैनवस पे रचता है। मैं भी एक आर्टिस्ट हूँ, मैं बचपन से ही पेंटिंग्स करती हूँ। मैंने 8-9 साल मधुबनी पेंटिंग किया है, 5 साल फाइन आर्ट्स किया है, 3 साल मॉडर्न आर्ट किया है। तो जो मेरी दुनिया है, जो हम वही आज दिखाने का प्रयास कर रहे हैं कि मेरी दुनिया कैनवस है, और कैनवस पे जो हम राम के लिए सोच रहे हैं, जो फील कर रहे हैं, वही मेरे हाथ से, मेरे पेंट से निकल के आ रहा है।
As the Grand Ram Temple rises, CNN News 18 gets you the biggest voices.
Devotees in great number. I mean, we are thinking about 1,25,000 every day.
From temple vision to execution.
एक अनोखी शैली में बनाने की कोशिश की है। भगवान का दरबार में आप जाएंगे तो लगेगा कि नहीं, एक अच्छी जगह पे हम लोग आए।
From objections to obeisance.
राम जी प्रतिष्ठित होंगे तो राम राज्य का मार्ग भी प्रशस्त होगा।
This Ram Mandir, which has been a dream of people for so many years, is coming to a fruition.
Thanks to everybody who made that happen, and I'm sure this means a world to multitude of people.
The symbolism, the significance, all stakeholders choose CNN News 18.
Viewers, the opposition that is boycotting the January Pran Pratishta on January 22nd has strived over the past few days to take credit for restoring to Ram Lalla his Janambhumi. It may sound like a supreme contradiction or a supreme irony, but the opposition has listed many instances when it claims its interventions contributed to the Ram Janambhumi cause, viewers. It says it opened the locks of the Babri Masjid and facilitated the Shilanyas by the VHP. It says it brought an ordinance that gave the central government absolute control over the Janam Sthan, eventually paving the way for the construction of the Mandir. Viewers, history is always contested, and there's no reason for me to diverse the opposition of its beliefs. I am no one to say whether they are wrong or they are right. But this doesn't preclude others, especially politicians, who might be actually challenging them from influence, who will be as indulgent to them viewers. In fact, Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath has taken on the opposition for harboring what he calls are grand delusions. Yogi Adityanath pointed out to the opposition that under Prime Minister Modi's leadership, Ayodhya has undergone a transformation.